Hey folks, welcome to Guitar Daily. It's Nick Granville coming to you from Wellington, New Zealand. So today I thought I'd discuss the Dorian mode a little further and kind of talk about this and kind of how I approach this thing. I've talked quite a bit about playing Dorian mode and being able to know it as its own mode, and that's a really good thing to do, right? But there's also another kind of way of looking at it that I haven't really discussed that much, which is kind of a derivative way of looking at it. So if we think about D Dorian in itself, it's D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. All natural notes, right? D Aeolian, for example, would have a B flat. But Dorian has that B natural, and that's one of the key things, right? Now this is typically used over like 2/5 progressions, so D minor, G7 type things. I'll include a link to the backing track below that I used at the beginning so you can practice over that backing track. It's a really good one. This is from Pat Matrone, whoever that is, but yeah, check it out. It's pretty cool. So it's essentially, I like to think of it in kind of two ways, right? Think of it as actually D Dorian as itself, right? So D, E, F, G, A, B, C, back to D. But I also like to think about it in terms of like, where does it derive from? And in this case, it derives from C major, right? I don't like that as my first point of call, but as more like my second point of call. Being able to think all the things that I know C major, but over a D perspective is really useful. So a voicing like this, C, E, B, E, C major 7, standard voicing you've all seen before, I'm sure. A voicing like that, people don't often think of that as a Dorian voicing, but it totally is, because that's the derivative key, right? Or even a voicing like this, which is a C add 9, which is E, C, D, G. Right, here's a home key, but I've got a nice little chord progression, C major, C add 9, leading to D minor 7, right? Can work really nicely. Or you might have noticed that in a little bit of that intro bit, I kind of played this as well. Just kind of like an F triad, but over D. And the thing with it is, I wasn't really thinking F, I wasn't even thinking D. At that point, I was thinking C, right? C major 1, 4, right? Be the 4 chord of C major. So 1, 4, and you could even play that as well. Just like a G triad over a D. Anything that relates to C major. So there we have A minor, B minor 7 flat 5, C major, or C major 7 if you want to put 7 as well. D minor, the diatonic chord progression. They're all coming from C major, but I'm thinking of it over a D. It can be super useful. I can do this with both with chords, but also with arpeggios. So something like, but over that root note. You see what happens is by doing that, my perspective changes, right? And the thing with that is that gives you other colors, right? It's a little different approach from thinking D Dorian. Now, don't get me wrong, you need to spend time focusing on playing D Dorian over D type, minor type chords, because that'll give you the perspective of hearing the root, the third, minor third, the fifth, and the flat seventh, and how that all relates, but also that sixth that you need to make it the part of the Dorian thing, right? So you've got to spend time there, but then also this other perspective of being able to be derivative and playing C major over the top of D minor is pretty cool too, because again, it gives you another perspective, more color, right? I hope this has been useful. If it has, please subscribe and like. Drop me a comment below to let me know what you think of it. Like if this is something that you thought, okay, I can get some benefit from that, let me know. I like to hear that from people. I post every day on YouTube. I really like Dorian. I think it's a cool sound. Forgot I was in drop D. Dorian is not just for jazz fusion, right? It can be really good for kind of drop D riffs. There's a tune of mine off the Reamped album called D Heavy, because it was in drop D and it's heavy. As simple as that. I think that was the riff, something like that. But the first chord I was thinking was a Dorian thing, and then the rest were just parallel chords. So really just tension and release, but that's a Dorian sound. It's a good sound, and like I said, thinking derivatively about it, like Cmajor is another step to giving you more colour. Give it a try. Let me know what you think. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Cheers.